Hi, Andrea Reynolds doing another book review, and today we're looking at L4M3 Commercial Contracting, which in my opinion is probably the toughest module to pass, so you do need a good course text. So in my inimitable fashion, we're going to look at the good and the bad of the book and then a final summary. What's good about the book? Really excellent definitions around different types of contract documentation. I do believe it will help those who aren't familiar with the procurement area and contracting to really visualize the documents that are used and how they all come together. There's also an excellent section on the Battle of the Forms. Takes you all the way through from the kind of purchase order process all the way through to goods received and how kind of last shot fired wins, how that might all work. So I really like that. And there's a lot of detailed information on KPIs, 7 pages in fact towards the end of the book. Again, if you're not familiar with that particular area, SLAs and KPIs, I really do think this will help you. What's not so good is that there is way too much UK case law within the book, and the intent of the syllabus is not to make you an expert on UK law, it's to help you understand the fundamentals of putting a contract together, and I'm not sure that's really explicit within the course text. It leans way too heavily on UK case law, UK way of doing things. So for example, on page 33, there's a whole page dedicated to UK case law around fundamentals of a legally binding agreement. Similarly, on page 37, the book gets confused and it starts talking about the mailbox rule, and a lot of students will know that as the postal rule. So not really sure kind of where the author's going with this one. And then again, there's a huge mistake with regards to ultra vires. And the author suggests that it just pertains to the public sector when actually it pertains to the public sector and the private sector. A few little mistakes like that across the whole of the book, in fact. And finally, it comes to a model form of contracts, and it leans just a bit too heavily from a UK perspective. It talks about JCT, it talks about NEC, it talks about the CIPS model form contracts. Well, where are all the international ones? Yeah, okay, they've thrown in Australia and maybe one other, but it's just too presumptuous that it's all about the UK. So my overall summary of the book, some good bits, but probably outweighed by the not so good bits, and really just as I said, too much UK specific content. So for that reason, unfortunately, and this is the only time I've ever gone under a 5 for any book, give it a 4. And that's because I'm not sure it really will help you pass. I think you could get detailed information on KPIs and contract documentation in L4M1, for example, that would just be just as helpful. So maybe save your money and get L4M1 instead of L4M3 as well. Just not good enough. Sorry to say that.